Welcome to another Jaff Comics opening video, this time for Edge of Eternities, the new set for Magic the Gathering. Today we're going to do just one box per video for you. We're going to have a number of videos coming out. This is going to be our first video, and this will be giving you an overview of the cards, mechanics, and everything that you'll see in this new set, Edge of Eternities. We have a play booster box here, which I believe is going to be our regular 30 packs of Magic the Gathering cards, guaranteed foil in every single pack. Got a lot of cool treatments, like different frame breaks and stuff like that, other than just the normal Magic frames in the set as well. Some of those are available in the play boosters, others are collector booster exclusive. We will have at least one video here for you for the collector booster boxes, just to give you a little look at all that the set has to offer. We'll just get started right away. So we have a Flight Deck Coordinator, a Drix Fate Maker. We have our first new mechanic listed here. So this is a 4-mana 3/2 creature. When this creature ETBs, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Each creature you control the +1/+1 counter on it has Trample, already great. And then it has this new ability called Warp. So Warp says you may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost, exile this creature at the beginning of the next end step, usually from the battlefield. Then you may cast it from exile on a later turn, meaning you can cast it for 2 on any given turn, and then any later turn after that, you may cast it from exile for the 3 and a green. 4 mana. So, very cool card. I do like the warp mechanic. There's a lot of stuff that plays with warp in this set as well. So there will be tons to see. But of course, it's being called Edge of Eternities. It's a space-themed set, as we're going to see with a lot of this stuff here. Cares about, creatures and artifacts and a lot of these things. Another warp card with our Sinister Cryologist, a Jellyfish Wizard. So we're going to see lots of new, not new creature types necessarily, but creature types that don't necessarily have a ton of support outside of a few sets here and there, getting some love. We have a Zookeeper Mechan, a Dubious Delicacy, ooh, and a Signpost Uncommon, a 5-mana Sir Vondum the Lucent, Death Touch Lifelink, and whenever it ETBs or attacks, other creatures you control get +1/+0, gain Death Touch until end of turn. Very cool. 4-mana 5/5 with a lot of abilities. Very nice to see. A Code Cracker Hound with a Warp, an Edge Rover as an uncommon. Another Sir Vondam, although this time not the Lucent, Sir Vondam Sunstar Exemplar as our first rare. So we have a Vigilance and Menace, white and a black, 2 mana. Whenever another creature you control dies or is put into exile, put a +1/+1 on Sir Vondam, and you gain a life. Okay. And whenever Sir Vondam dies or is put into exile, while its power is 4 or greater, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Ooh. I have not seen this card before in the set, but that looks very cool. Very playable. 2 mana, 2/2 with a lot of abilities. Awesome. And we have a Mechanoza, our first foil. Also has a warp cost. We're going to see warp, I believe, a lot in this set. And hopefully we'll see some lands other than just this basic style land in here. I believe it's probably like 1 per 12 packs or so, I think is going to be a one of their extended art lands. So we'll see when we get one, but there's some very, very cool space-themed full art lands that are available in this set. And speaking of, we're just going to see, I'm going to cheat a little bit ahead. Nope, we just have the exact same planes in this pack. If we did have one of them, I'd show you right away. But we'll circle around to it when we get there. A 7-mana creature, 5/5, that costs X less to cast, where X is the number of differently named lands you control. Fungal Colossus, very cool. A Sky Warden, a heavy. We also do have, and I believe we saw one in the last pack, I think there's also one in this pack, a Lander token as a new thing. So this is Divert Disaster. 1 and a blue to counter a target spell, unless its controller pays 2, and if they do, you create a Lander token. So then a Lander token says 2 and a tap, sacrifice this token, search your library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield, tapped, and then shuffle. Very cool. And I will just check here. I believe, yeah, we do have double-sided tokens in the set as well. And honestly, I had seen that art spoiled, and I think that is one of the best tokens in the set, art-wise. Very, very neat. But yeah. We have the return, I believe, of Banishing Light. Very cool enchantment that's seen a lot of play. Although this one's also got a little less of a forehead than some of the other cards do. A little bit more of a chin with the weird cutting there and a very small amount of black. Probably not big enough to be an actual misprint or anything, but we have our first spaceship, though. Or Starcraft, I should say. So Starcrafts are a new card type. Sorry, not card type, a subtype of artifacts, usually, that can turn into creatures. So this is our first one, Pinnacle Kill Ship for 7 mana, an artifact spacecraft. When the spacecraft enters the battlefield, or shortened to enters now, it deals 10 damage to up to 1 target creature. So 7 mana, deal 10 to a creature, already pretty great. And then we have this new mechanic that's seen on all of these spacecraft. So it's Station. Station says, tap another creature you control. That's the cost. It does not have to have haste. It could have entered this turn, the creature. Neither does this creature have to have haste to be able to station anything. Although you can only station, as we see, sorcery. But you put charge counters equal to its power on this spacecraft. And then if it's a artifact creature at the number that's seen down here. So for this Pinnacle Kill Ship, once you have 7 or more of these charge counters on it, this goes from being just an artifact to an artifact creature. That's a flying 7/7 as well. So very cool little set of abilities here. There are a lot of spacecraft that look very cool in this set, and hopefully we'll see some of the more rare ones, because a lot of them are quite exciting. Nanoform Sentinel. Again, for this video, we're going to be going over more of the mechanics, and then the following videos for the Play Booster Box openings are going to be a little lighter on mechanics and kind of just going through a little faster and chilling and seeing what we get. So we have our second spacecraft, back-to-back, Specimen Freighter, 5 in a blue. At 9, it has, when the spacecraft attacks, defending player mills 4 cards. It's a 4/7. When it enters on its own, though, return up to 2 non-spacecraft creatures to their owner's hands. A little bounce spell for 6, probably pretty high for any constructed formats for mana costs, but not too bad. We have a Terrabacked Intimidator, more landers. We have Alpharel, Dreaming Acolytes. ETBs draw 2, then discard 2 unless you discard an artifact. Signpost uncommon, very cool. During your turn, Alpharel has Death Touch on 2/3. Oh, and we have our first Shocklands. So this is a return Shocklands. These are the, I believe, enemy Shocklands. I forget if Boros is enemy or allied. I believe they're enemy. So that means we'll have things like Breeding Pool and Steam Vents, I believe, as well. But we'll check that when we see more of them. Hopefully we get more per box. But very great to see. And, oh, wow, we actually have 2 rares in the pack. So, a rare land. And also, Synthesizer Lab Ship for 1. I mean, this already looks like a much better rate. 1 mana, can become a 4/4 when you get 9 on it, but at its station of 2+, the beginning of combat on your turn, up to 1 target artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness 2/2, gains flying until end of turn. And then when it has 9+, it still has that ability, but then it also gains flying and vigilance itself and becomes a 4/4. Very cool. Up to 2 other target artifacts, so it can't animate itself as the 2/2 when it's at 2+, but cool nonetheless. Cavalron Skywarden, 5 mana, 4/5 with reach. Just a regular old common card, but we do have Void, which I believe is also, we'll see the Warped as a ability on other cards. Beginning of your end step, if an online permanent left the battlefield this turn, or a spell was warped this turn, but +1/+1 counter on this creature. Void is a maybe not evergreen ability now, but it cares about basically exactly this, non-land permanent leaving the battlefield this turn, or a spell being warped this turn. So very neat. We will see more of that for sure. Only 2 packs in, so we'll definitely get through most of these abilities. I think there's only maybe a couple more that we haven't really seen that we'll have to dive into. We'll be really rolling after that. A Gene Pollinator, 1/2, that can add mana. A Bombard. Deals 4 damage to target creature for 3. Dark Endurance. Costs 1 less for blocking target blocking creature. A Light Jammer. And equipment with Flash that gives +1/+2. And some Hexproof. Starfighter Pilot. A 2 mana. Becomes tap Surveil 1. Red Tiger Mechan. Also has a warp cost. Has haste, 3 mana. or the warp cost rather is 2, but sorry, a 4 mana or 2 mana 3/3 with warp or non-warp. We have the kill ship again, which we saw earlier. A reroute systems, an instant to be able to get some nice interaction going for combat. A Terra Botanist, landing 2Bs, gain a life, very nice. This is a great uncommon from what I've seen, especially for limited, for anyone that's going to be playing at any of the pre-releases. Again, check out jeffcomics.com to see any of our pre-release slots that are open and sign up for yourself. This looks like it's an absolute bomb in limited. You have your warp for just a black mana to get this out, or 3 mana for a 2/2. And then whenever this creature or another creature or artifacts, this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, which artifacts indeed can die. Dies essentially refers to anything going from the battlefield to the graveyard. So you sacrifice a, say, token treasure, that will trigger this. Anytime that you sacrifice any of the other artifacts that are in the set as well, there's a lot of support for it. You'll get this trigger of target opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life. So very cool. A Ruinous Rampage for 3 mana to get some removal. And Loading Zone. Ooh, okay. This is basically a, it's not exactly a doubling season because it doesn't do tokens, but it does counters, so it is kind of like a, I can't remember the name of it right now, but there's a few that are like this at either like 3 or 4 mana, so this is a great cost. But if 1 or more counters will be put on a creature or spacecraft or a planet you control, twice that many of each of those kinds of counters are put on it instead. And so that's also like for those station costs. You put twice as many counters on those spacecraft. Very nice. And a Dark Endurance, a Mountain, and a Lander. Cool. Yeah, I've been following a lot of the spoilers for this set as they got revealed, and just, I mean, it's a fantastic set with a lot of great flavor. We'll definitely be looking forward to the Chrome Companion. I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to as well. But I'll be looking forward to the Collector Booster video that we're going to be doing. See if we can get some really, really cool hits because there's a lot of insane treatments. I think I did sneak a little peek at the back there accidentally. That may show that we have a little something there. That's not just our normal frames, though. So we'll see. Hymn of the Faller. Again, we have the Void mechanic here. This time it draws you a card instead of doing the life. Ooh, Survey Mechan. I did see this, and honestly, there are definitely going to be some decks that this will do outstanding in. A 4 mana 1/3 with Flying Hexproof. Already pretty great. 10 mana. Sacrifice this creature as an ability. It deals 3 damage to any target. Target player draws 3 cards and gains 3 life. The ability itself costs X less to activate, though, where X is the number of differently named lands you control. So you could have this all the way down to being just 0 mana, sack this creature, if you have 10 differently named lands. So, on average, you're probably going to spend maybe like 4-5 mana on this ability. And at that rate, like, you've had a 4/3 on the field for quite a while. It's Flying Hexproof. It's a great blocker with 3 toughness. Like, in certain decks, I could definitely see that being a very, very good card. We have our Mill 4, again, the Specimen Freighter that we saw earlier. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Okay, we have a Sothera the Super Void. I think the card in the back there is going to be our basic land that looks like it's crazy. But we did hit a regular frame version of Sothera the Super Void. This is one of the cards that has like a very exclusive printing in the set that's only in the collector boosters. But we have the normal printing of legendary enchantment for 4 mana. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent chooses a creature they control and exiles it. And then at the beginning of your end step, if a player controls no creatures, So in Commander, any single player has no creatures, this will trigger. Not just everyone has no creatures. Sacrifice it, then put a creature exiled with it onto the battlefield under your control, 2+1/+1 counters. Still a great card. Fantastic. And we will see... Oh, it's the island. All right. These probably aren't going to be crazy expensive for the normal non-foil, non-galaxy foil, just regular full arts. But, I mean, it's beautiful, isn't it? We can get some of the detail on that and just fantastic. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more to say. It's a beautiful, beautiful island. Very cool. So that's only 4 or so packs in, and we got our first one of those. It'll be interesting to see how many we get per box. But yeah, We have something that makes landers. Our technician cares about artifacts. Let's see, an Aniform Sentinel. We do have something with Warp, which we already have had, but this time it has a mana and a pay life as an ability. And you can cast this card for its Warp ability from the graveyard, which is also pretty neat. So just 1 black and pay 2 life, and you can warp it from graveyard. Has haste, and it's a 2/2. I can see that being a great card in Limited. I hadn't seen that yet. Very nice. Dual Sun Adepts. Ooh, we have a new spacecraft in Uncommon. ETB's Bolt something. And then at 8+, it has some somewhat lackluster kind of dragony abilities. Ooh, but what's this going to be? A Mutavault. Okay. It's not one of the crazier of the lands, but we have our first hit from the, what are these called again? The Enduring Sites or something along those lines? Stellar Sites lands. This is Mutavault, so this is a reprint. It is legal when you play these in Limited, doing your either drafts or pre-releases or what have you, sealed events. But yeah, a land that has tap for colorless or pay 1 and this land becomes a 2/2 creature with all creature types until end of turn. It's still a land. Very great in any kind of like changeling type decks that care about creature types. Yeah, very awesome. Non-foil, but still very sweet. Oh, and that is... So that's also a mythic. I know a lot of people have the question of what rarity is it because it doesn't say in the little type line here. But we have a land, and it is a mythic in the bottom left here. We have a Moonlight Meditation. Ooh, okay. So I've seen some people cooking with this online, and my brain also went to doing some crazy things. But 3 mana, an enchantment aura. You can enchant an artifact or creature you control. The first time you would create 1 or more tokens each turn, you may instead create that many token copies of the enchanted permanent instead of just whatever you would have made otherwise. So say you would have made 3 squirrels with like a Chatterstorm or whatever it's called. Instead, you say you have like your Consecrated Sphinx out because you're in blue-green and, you know, you're doing the Simic thing of just value. Instead of getting 3 squirrels, you're getting 3 of your Consecrated Sphinx that you enchanted with this. Although if you're getting that, and it wasn't already removed, the Conch Sphinx, I mean, you're already going to be doing fantastic. That's a great card. Alrighty. We have a Gravkill, a little Exile for 4 and black. Some Warp. Depressurize. We have a little Creature Earth Ward. We have something interesting back there. I don't want to spoil too much. Servandum. Oh, okay. We do have something exciting behind this, but this is the spacecraft that I was even considering building a commander around. It's notable to say there has been rules changes to the commander rules to say that any of the vehicles that are legendary, spacecraft that are legendary, or a few other things now that previously would have had to have the line on it saying Infinite Guy Light Station can be your commander, or whatever it would have been. You no longer need to have that text on there as long as it's legendary and can become a creature by being a spacecraft or by being a vehicle. Those can just be your commander now. So it's Wooburg, 5 color. When ETBs create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token for each multicolored permanent you control. And then at station 12+, it becomes a 7/15 with flying that when it attacks, you draw a card for each multicolor permanent you control, which I do love me drawing some cards. It's a lot to kind of get there, but I feel like in a 5-color deck, you definitely could. So that is very sweet. Now we do have... Ooh, whoa. This is cool. Okay, so you can at least get your extended arts, and you can even get your extended arts in foil in your regular play boosters. So we have Alpha Rail, Stone Chosen, a mythic, 5 mana 3/3 with ward, discard a card at random. That's a pretty sick ward cost. When Alpha Rail attacks, if an online permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn, defending player loses half their life rounded up. Wow. That is crazy. Crazy good. Awesome art. Love the texture on the moon there. I mean, it's so sick. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. Anytime you can get yourself a full arts foil mythic and just a play booster. Oh, I may have leaked a little something there. I didn't see it. You didn't see it. But, man, this set looks great. You got your starport security, too. The space themes, the chrome dogs. It's fantastic. The circuit feeder, Nautilus. Woof. You got your honor, which I saw a lot of people saying this should have been printed back in like unlimited or something like that, like alpha, beta. Just put a +1/+1 counter on, if we can get this to focus. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, draw a card. It's sorcery speed for 1 mana. It's a cantrip. We should have seen this way earlier in Magic's history. Helia. ETBs or attacks, put a +1/+1 on target creature you control. One more creatures with +1/+1 counters on them, deal combat damage to the player, draw a card. Hey, it's like Kutzel, but it's 5 mana. It doesn't have the, you can't, the opponents can't cast spells during your turn type thing. Frenzy Baloth, though, a rare 2 mana 3/2, can't be countered, trample haste, creature spells you control can't be countered, combat damage can't be prevented. Very, very sick card, and fantastic art with that. Ooh, and a foil rare on top of that too. The Eternity Elevator, legendary artifact spacecraft that just on its own has tap, add 3, colorless, and then it has a station cost of 20. Once you get to 20, add X mana of any one color, where X is the number of charge counters on the Eternity Elevator. This card is going to go crazy in some decks, let me tell you. Just dump out a bunch of like 15 creatures, put all those charge counters on them, and just tap them to add mana of any one color. It's only one color, but like still insane card, insane value. 5 mana, nets you 3. I feel like this card's going to go in a lot of commander decks. Sweet, sweet hit there. Yeah, these packs have been great so far. I can say that. Let's see. Graph kill. We're definitely getting some dupes, but that's to be expected. You have a Larval Scoutlander. ETB's going to be Sack-a-Lander Lander. You can search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them on the battlefield tapped. Ooh, that's not a bad cost. If you're already running landers, you don't have to sack an actual land itself. You can just sack the lander. Man, and at 7, it's a flying 3/3. That's not bad. That is not bad. Emergency Eject. Onto a Sentry. Space-Time Anomaly. Target player mills cards equal to your life total. Oops, I had 100 life. You're going to mill your whole library now. Fun. Tornado, an Island, and a Lander. Very sweet. Got a Banishing Light. We have a Cryogen Relic. I feel like this is going to see some good play in, your pre-releases and stuff like that, your sealed tournaments. Artifact DTBs or leaves the battlefield, draw a card, and then you can sack it, put a stun counter on up to 1 target tapped creature. You got like a gigantic spacecraft coming at you. Tap that down. Enters, Flying Trample 5/4 at Station 8. Okay. An Atomizer, and equipment. Ooh, a breeding pool. Okay, so yes, this does appear to be that we have the enemy lands. So breeding pool, forest and an island, pay 2 life, or you can have it enter tapped or untapped. Not too shabby of art either. Very cool. Then we have, oh man, it seems like the packs that give you the shock lands, they have just some absolute gas behind them, because we have the Dominion Bracelet. If we can get it to focus. So the Dominion Bracelet is a 2 mana legendary artifact equipment. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has an ability that costs 15 on its face, but don't worry. It's 15 in exile of Dominion Bracelet. You control target opponent during their next turn. Doesn't give them an extra turn after that, like all your Mindslaver effects and stuff like that. But you probably won't have to pay 15, because this ability costs X less to cast, or to activate rather, where X is this creature's power. So you slap this on a Galta, it's a 13/13, you do it for 2 mana. It's, I mean, 5 mana total in certain decks. Not even that. It's going to be like 3 mana if you just have a 15/15. That's crazy. You're already doing pretty good if you have a 15/15, but man, if you have a deck that gets big creatures efficiently, I mean, run it. Run it, dude. Let's see what we got here. A little Plasma Bolt with Void to deal 3 damage to a non-land permanent. If you had the battlefield, non-permanent leave the battlefield or spell was warped this turn. Not too bad. Lost in Space. A Torpedo. Full Bore. Ooh, this Colossus, though, I think could be sick. Warp cost of 3, and it's a 9/9. For your station abilities, being able to warp something out for 3, tap it for station 9, that's going to do some absolute work in certain decks for sure. Diadrene, Synthesis Amalgam. An X green-white, trample 0/1. ETBs with +1/+1s equal to the mana. Ooh, all the mana spent to cast it, not just X. And then whenever you attack, you may remove a +1/+1 counter from each of 2 creatures you control. If you do, draw a card, create a 2/2. Ooh. So you have to remove 2 different counters to be able to do the effect. But it's not going to be hard in certain decks. Very nice. We have a Memorial Vault, 4 mana, tap sack, another artifact, exile top X of your library, where X is 1+ the mana value of the sacked artifact. You can play those cards this turn. I do think this card's going to have some legs in bracket 3-4 Commander. Probably not CDH viable, but definitely can do some pretty good stuff. All right. Let's see what we got for our next one. Sorry about the squeaky chair if you can hear it. Ooh. Ooh hoo hoo. We're gonna tuck that away a little more. We seem to have a foil Stellar Sights land at the back of this, which I am very excited to see what we get. It's cool to know we can get those in the regular play booster boxes. We have an Arch Enemy's Charm. We have a black instant that says choose one. Either exile target creature or planeswalker, return up to 2 target creatures and or planeswalkers from the graveyard to hand. Put 2 +1/+1s on target creature you control. It gains lifelink until end of turn. Very cool. Not as cool as Bonder's Enclave. I mean, let's see. We get a good reflection, highlighting some stuff here. I like that with the air, I don't even know. Those are like sky fish or something like that. Those are sick. Unfortunately, Bonder's Enclave doesn't see a ton of play because it's 3 mana to draw a card only if you have a creature with power 4 or greater. But, I mean, I think I run it in my Eldrazi deck. So, a cool hit nonetheless, but could have been something insane. Because if that was like a, I don't know, Gemstone Caverns, that's like $150 plus probably. But you win some, you lose some. And a foil Bonder's Enclave is still going to be great. Oop. And what happened here? Oh, you know what? Stand by. Alrighty, sorry about that. In my haste to get this video started, we forgot to plug in an external battery to make sure our runtime was going to run for us. So we should be back now. We'll just continue right along. An Exosuit Savior, Nutrient Block, Indestructible Food. Wouldn't want to eat you. That's gnarly. The laser can't even cut through it. A Dockworker Drone, a Zealous Display, an Infiltrator, a Rescue Skiff. 10 station, it has flying 5/6. When it enters, return a target creature enchantment from your graveyard to the battlefield for 6. Very cool. Close Encounter, Rust Harvester, and we do have ourselves a mountain, a full art mountain with the little spacecraft running through it. Now this is pod racing. No, it's actually Magic the Gathering. Although, if you are interested in some Star Wars, we do have the Star Wars TCG here at Jaff Comics in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Check us out online or in store to get some sealed products, some single cards on our TCG Player. Wherever you'd like to get your Magic the Gathering and other TCGs, support your local game store. And we're definitely one of them in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Jeff Comics. We have ourselves a Use Social Engineering. 5 mana, 1 landing TBs. Get a robot. Very nice already. And then it can warp in for 1 and a green. That is sweet. Vote out. I mean, we got the Among Us card, y'all. That's great. Convoke to destroy a creature. It's very on flavor. Litho Breaking. Oop. Ooh, and a Terra Symbiosis. An enchantment for 3. Whenever you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on a creature you control, you draw a card. You draw that many cards. Do it only once each turn. So you can choose which time you're putting on the boatload of +1/+1s on a creature, and you're drawing that many. But man, oh man, it's every turn too. So like if you have a Forgotten Ancient, it's gonna get some +1/+1s when people play their spells on their turns. You're gonna get incremental value. I feel like this card is great. I love anything that says draw a card, and I feel like this is gonna be a staple in +1/+1 counter decks. Awesome. About halfway through the box for this video here. We'll speed us up just a tiny bit, because we've seen, I think, most of the things, although we haven't seen Slivers yet until now. So, the return of Slivers here in Edge of Eternities. 6 mana artifact for Thrumming Hive Pool. Affinity for Slivers. Slivers you control have double strike and haste. Fantastic ability. Beginning of your upkeep, create 2 1/1 colorless silver creature tokens. Sweet. Next pack. Cryo Shatter. The Operator. Ooh, we have something there. I see it. We have a Dirge Craft. And, ooh, a Rust Harvester. So we can get those little full art non-foils as well from the regular set. Rust Harvester. Menace. You can tap 2, sack or exile an artifact card from your graveyard. +1/+1 counter on this creature. That deals damage equal to its power to any target. I think in certain decks, I mean, that has a home for sure. Oh, and my favorite one of the basic lands, as soon as they release the reveal for this, I love the, like, rectangular rounded edge clouds, or whatever that is. I mean, whew. I may replace, I have one mono white deck that has just some regular old basics. I don't play that deck much, but it's real tempting to just change out every one of those lands for that, because that is beautiful. I believe that's an Adam Pocket land. He was a great artist. Done a lot of stuff that I can't really remember. But we have a Lotus Field. I can remember that card. Lotus Field, of course, is a land that has hexproof. When it enters tapped and enters, you sacrifice 2 other lands. You could actually sacrifice this one as a land, but like realistically, you're choosing 2 other lands. But you tap and add 3 mana of any one color. Very nice. Ooh, and a light stall Inquisitor. I remember this one being a pretty nice card. When it ETBs, each opponent exiles a card from their hand, may play that card as long as it remains exiled. Each spell cast this way costs 1 more to cast. It's like the one, I can't remember, a few sets ago, that was it was also mono white, cost 2 more to cast, and the Magic Tournament winner got to choose their card. That was the one. Sorry, I don't play Standard that much, so I couldn't really tell you what the card was, but we do have Esarima. When it ETBs, search your library for a legendary creature, reveal it, put it to hand. 3 mana tutors a legend. Okay. In white. Flying 5/5 at station 7+. Other tapped legendary creatures you control have indestructible. Very nice. Indeed. A Focus Fire. Rig for War. Seam Rip. Weft Walking, 6 mana enchantment. ETBs, if you cast it, shuffle your hand graveyard into library, draw 7. First spell each player casts during each of their turns may be cast without paying its mana cost. Oh boy, oh boy. I had not seen that before. Also, the art is pretty phenomenal. The effects, mild downside that it's every player, but it'll see play. It'll see play for sure. Alrighty. Ooh, we have another one of the Stellar Sites, Contested Warzone. This one's just a rare. When a creature deals combat damage to you, the player's creature gains control of this land. Okay. Tap to add a colorless, or 1 in the tap. Attacking creatures get +1/+1 until end of turn. Very cool. Ooh, a Nova Hellkite has a warp. It's flying haste. ETBs deals 1 damage to target creature and opponent controls. Not the strongest effect for a rare, but we've seen worse rares in many sets of the past. I feel like warp might be a little slept on. I know for myself, I don't feel like it's going to be too crazy, but this might be nesting grounds. Honestly, with moving counters onto permanents, I know there's the one card that cares about Eon counters that can get combo-y with it. Great card, even though it's only rare. Oh, and Dawnsire's Sunstar Dreadnought. So at station 10 for this, whenever you attack, not just with this, Dawnsire's deals 100 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. And at station 20 plus, it's a flying 20/20. Y'all, I love me some big creatures, and that is a biggin. 20/20 for 5 mana. You do have to tap 20 power worth of other creatures to get there, but I see big number and I say, you know what? I'm in. Ooh, more Stellar Lands. I'm skipping over quite a bit here, but I feel like Raging Ravine is just a man land from the old, I don't even remember what sets was reprinted, like Modern Masters or Ultimate Masters, and people were upset then, but no one can be upset at Ice Till Explorer. You got yourself a Crucible Worlds on a creature. You can play an additional land each turn, play from lands from graveyards, and whenever you land ETBs, you mill a card. I mean, it's just the best effect for a lands deck that you could possibly ever ask for. 4 mana, 2/4, a little low, but all the other effects, insanely fantastic. Insanely fantastic. The mill, not just for your own lands, but being able to, you know, I mean, it's diabolical. They printed like Strip Mine in the Stellar Sites because another Moonlit Meditation, because you can get Strip Mine in sealed. You can get Ice Tiller Explorer. You can play 2 Strip Mines a turn. You can blow out your entire opponent's land base in limited, and then just get everything yours back up and running with extra lands. Oh, lands like this one to go way mana positive. It enters tapped for Evendo, Waking Haven, but it can tap for a green. But at station 12 plus, it's a Gaia's Cradle that you just have to pay 1 into to activate. That is powerful. Incredibly powerful. Ooh, and the swamp too. I mean, no one cares about the swamp when you can get an Evendo. But, man, this set continues to surprise, to live up to expectations, at least for me. Man, fantastic. We got the Entropic Battlecruiser. 4 mana. Has lots of abilities on it for StarCraft and discarding. Not too insane, though. It's not one of the super notable ones, but that's alright. The Coordinator. The Breacher. Do we see the Elite? Nah, it doesn't do anything too crazy. A Tractor Beam. Ooh, Corral of the Void. 4 mana, enchanted creature. Enchanted creature attacks. Put target creature from defending player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. And then, beginning of your end step, sacrifice this aura unless a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn. So, not the easiest thing to keep around, but at least the creature that you get back from the defending player's graveyard does stick around even if this leaves, which is very cool. Very strong ability to reanimate for 4 mana in black multiple times. I feel something in this one. I don't see anything peeking out yet, but we do have this guy, the basically best new sacrifice at instant speed sack outlet is the word I'm looking for. Umbral Collar Zealot. A 2 mana 3/2, already great on its face, and then sacrifice another creature or artifact to surveil one. So instead of just scrying one with things like Viscera Seer, this can do artifacts as well, and it's a surveil, which can put more stuff in your graveyard. Which, I mean, oh, and Starfield Vocalist. I love the ability, but also Starfield Vocalist has a fantastic ability of your one Roaming Throne type effects, 4 mana. If an enchantment ETBs, causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, triggers an additional time, and you can warp it for just 2 instead. This set has gas. In the good way, gas. Gas to the flames. And I do see, ooh. Oh, is that the foil planes? Oh, I'm going to be so excited to see that. We're holding off, we're seeing all the things as they come. Pinnacle Star Cage. 8 mana to make some robots. I remember seeing it, and like, sure, you can exile all artifacts and creatures of mana value 2 or less until this leaves, but like, nothing too crazy. And it is the plains. Oh my gosh. Oh, the little trail too. Oh, looks so nice. So nice. Well, we're on our last 3 packs of the box. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed y'all sticking around. Leave some comments down below if we got them enabled to let us know what your favorite card that we opened today was, what the biggest hit, most exciting was for you. If you want to get any of these cards yourself, such as a 0-point ballad, a little Toxic Deluge type effect, but only for destroy, but also has a little recursion staple to it. Ooh, and some nice foils. If you want to get any of these very cool cards, please check out our TCG Player. I believe it's tcgplayerpro.jaffcomics.com. You can find a link down in the description. That's the easiest place to find it. Make sure, give it a click. You can find these cards and many more from Magic the Gathering and all your other favorite TCGs. Lorcana, the Star Wars game, as we mentioned earlier. Pokemon, we got your Yu-Gi-Ohs. We got opening videos for a lot of those card games as well when any of the new sets come out. So if you want to see any of those, make sure to subscribe, as well as seeing more of these openings for Magic the Gathering. Oh my gosh, you can just get a Green Sun Zenith in the middle of the pack for your special guests. Well, that's a last pack magic for you. Green Sun Zenith. We have the special guest, non-foil, but I mean, that's an incredible hit. Just absolutely incredible. If you want to find cards like this, like I said, visit us in person, online. We're in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania on 191. Check us out. Come in store, play some pre-releases, find your favorite Magic cards at Jaff Comics. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be uploading more Edge of Eternity's videos following this one. So make sure to like, subscribe, and you'll see us in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye for now.